Have you ever done something that was beneficial to yourself, a friend, a loved one, something that was genuinely going to be good for someone in your life, only to find that you were overcome by a negative and destructive mindset? Well, if this has ever happened to you, then stick around because I'm going to show you 3 ways to overcome exactly that in today's show. Hi there, this is Eliana. This video is a little overdue. I sincerely apologize about that. My family and I were in the middle of a move. You know how fun and crazy that could be. I wanted to share with you a personal experience of mine that happened several weeks ago, maybe closer to a month at this point, on the way home from the grocery store. Wrote the script for this video. I didn't have a car. My kids and I were living in a city area. There was shopping within a reasonable distance. When I say that I went to the grocery store, I was walking. And even though my life is in a bit of a rough patch right now, I'm not going to let that hold me back. I am very determined to get my life back on track while improving the quality of my life and my kids' lives. Anyway, the grocery store. So I was walking there. It's about a mile one way. And when I go to the grocery store, I have a backpack and I take my 3-year-old's umbrella stroller and whatever I can fit in the backpack and the stroller, that's what I can get. By walking to the store, I'm doing several things. I'm ensuring that my family won't go hungry. I'm helping the planet by not taking a car in the first place. I'm getting some much overdue exercise, which, let's be honest, we all need a little bit more of that in our lives, right? I was being proactive and independent so that I could do whatever possible within my means to take care of my family. I had walked down there several times before this particular day. No trouble, like it didn't bother me, it didn't faze me. I'm like, yeah, this is just what I gotta do. I gotta go get groceries. Okay, get my backpack and get the stroller. That's it. I was overcome by such a deep sense of shame. I couldn't explain it. It wasn't the fear of crossing the road at just the right time to ensure my safety, because it was a very busy road. It wasn't my own personal disgust as filthy rainwater splashed up on me as thoughtful drivers deliberately ran into the puddles of water that happened to be right near where I was walking. It wasn't that. It wasn't even about getting the proper bag placement so that my eggs wouldn't spill onto the cement sidewalk. It was just shame. I mean, seriously, how did I let my life get to this point? I felt like nothing. The shame was so intense within my heart that I started silently bawling my eyes out on my way home. Tears just streaming down my face. Through the tears, I had to remind myself of a couple important things. I had to keep telling myself that I am a strong, resourceful woman doing whatever I can to provide for my children. I also kept telling myself that I was doing everything in my power to make sure that my children would not go hungry. Even with all of this positive reinforcement, I still had to force myself to keep going. I had to force myself not to collapse on the sidewalk, but I chose to not let my thoughts consume me. By the time I returned home, my composure had almost completely returned. Not quite, but it was getting there. I started unloading my $46.55 worth of groceries from my backpack and my little umbrella stroller into the house. Exhausted from the sheer emotional turmoil and the mild physical exertion, my 3 kids had worked together to get themselves lunch while I was away gathering more supplies. Seeing my amazing kids eating lunch together made all the remnants of shame that were flitting about inside me simply dissipate. The positive statements that I had to repeat to myself over and over on the way home now felt true. It no longer felt like I was simply attempting to redirect my thoughts. And see, here I was, a single mother, no car, still getting down to the grocery store to ensure meals for the next couple of days until I had to do this all over again. And I was still consumed by this destructive mindset. My story is but one example of how these destructive thoughts find each of us at some point in our lives. When these negative mentalities try to push us down, I see only two options. One, we can let these destructive obstacles suffocate us, bringing us down into a deep pit of depression. You know, it does tend to happen sometimes. Don't let it. Or we can choose to affect our mindset positively by taking these 3 steps. Rather, acknowledge whatever emotion is coursing through you that is creating this destructive thought. Don't dwell on the emotions that are caused, but simply acknowledge it. By acknowledging the destruction, you are actually helping to address the issue. Sometimes we do get stuck on the negative, but don't forget, we always have the choice of how our life experiences, and people for that matter, affect us. Focusing on the positive of a situation, like how I came home and saw my kids being amazing children who had gotten their own lunch and they were sitting there eating it. Focusing on something as simple as that will help you to not dwell on the negative or destructive aspects. Maintain a constant and persistent forward motion no matter how hard it gets. If we allow ourselves to dwell on the negative, then we will be forcing ourselves into a perpetual state of self-destruction. So when you find the negative self-talk sneaking into your psyche, ask yourself this: which wolf are you going to choose to feed today? By following these steps, you can help to free yourself from self-destructive thoughts. If and when you find yourself saying, "But I can't do this, this is too hard," this is exactly the time to work on this issue. Don't make a conscious effort to do so. You're going to find yourself drifting further into the pool of self-doubt and negativity. I don't know about you, but that's no place I want to be. Although it's challenging and sometimes requires our entire strength reserves, just remember, you are not alone. I shared a personal story with you so that hopefully you have the strength within yourself to keep striving for something better. These are my experiences. I am by no means a medical professional. It is important that we stand together as we each try to bring more positivity into our lives and the world around us. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe down below. You can follow me on Instagram and my blog, also linked in the description. I am today, signing out. I keep looking at myself like, oh my gosh, do you see? Hey, how's it going? Okay. You hear how my voice dips down like that? Like what? I like looking up this way. I started unloading my... What? I started unloading my 40... That's crinkly paper. But if you don't make a conscious effort to do so, you're gonna find yourself drifting further into the pool of self-doubt and negative. By following these steps, you can help to free yourself from the negative cycle of self-destructive blah. Oh, do you see my hair? Like, what is going on with that? It's like, it just like fell. Okay.